At this time, I invite Mr. Dale Demianic, Dr. Olson to approach the podium to perform the formal investiture of Dr. Olson as the 6th president of Daemen College.
As chair of the Board of Trustees of Daemen College, and on behalf of the board, I welcome you to the Daemen community. We charge you with good stewardship of our beloved college, its resources, students, faculty, and staff. We charge you with leading Daemen College to a new level of excellence and distinction. We charge you with leading Daemen College to become a college of national distinction. With the powers vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Daemen College, I hereby bestow upon you the medallion of the office of the President, signifying your authority over and stewardship of the college. May you wear it for a long and distinguished presidency. Congratulations, and on behalf of all of the members of the Board of Trustees, we wish you a successful tenure as the 6th president of Daemen College.
One and all, please join me in welcoming the 6th president of Daemen College, Dr. Gary A. Olson. President Olson will now deliver his inaugural address. President Olson.
Thank you, Dale. Thank you for your kind words and for your faith in our administration. And good afternoon, everyone. I thank each and every one of you for being here. I'd like to begin by recognizing several individuals who honor the college and me by being here. As you see, we have a stellar group for our platform party today. I'd like to thank Congressman Brian Higgins for his kind words. He's been a true supporter of Daemen and of me personally, and he's graciously joined our Community Advisory Board. We're privileged to have Brian as our congressman in Washington and as our leader here for us in the region. And as someone who has taught himself, he knows the importance of higher education. I look forward to continuing our discussions with him about how we can make higher education here in Western New York better. Daemen College has prospered in part thanks to the leadership of State Senator Michael Ransenhofer and New York State Assemblyman Raymond Walter, both of whom are sitting now on our new advisory board. And they both do an outstanding job of representing the area. So I want to thank them for their kind words. It's an honor to the college and also to me to have today other distinguished leaders, Mayor of Buffalo, Byron Brown, and of course Amherst Supervisor Barry Weinstein. We're pleased to have them and the Daemen College family, and we thank them for their help with us on a number of issues in the region. I'm indeed fortunate to have a real bipartisan group, as you've seen, helping us in Daemen and helping us really make this college even more so a college of national distinction. Several college presidents are with us today, but representing all of higher education, as you've seen, is Dr. Satish Tripathi from the University of Buffalo. We're honored to have him. He serves as an important link between our important private and our public institutions of higher education. So thank you, Satish. I'd also like to thank somebody who is not here. Howard Zemsky had an emergency today. He represented the community and economic development. And I happened to see his kind words in advance. And he's been really great to Daemen and, as you know, to Western New York. And we're fortunate to have him also on our board. So in your absence, Howard, we're grateful for everything you do, not only for Daemen College, but for all of Western New York. Also in the platform party are the leaders of several important constituent groups. Michelle Flint, as you've seen, and Linda Cesario representing faculty and emeritus faculty. Maverick Cummings and Jeff Raby representing students in the alumni, and Mimi Stedman, representing the staff. I'm really honored and proud to work with each of them. They're outstanding leaders and just a great crew to be with. The trustees of Daemen College are certainly a great group, one of the best groups of trustees I've ever seen around the nation. Now, there are about 23 of them here today, so I'm not going to name each one of them, but just thank them all for being here and for their support of the college and for their support of me. We're honored to have with us Marty Annisman, the fourth president of Daemen, and someone who has really worked tirelessly to modernize the college and to reach out to our alumni. We're delighted that he was able to come all the way from California to be here today, so thank you, Marty. I'd also like to thank Adrian Bradshaw for traveling all the way from Ohio to sing for us today. What a vocalist. Wasn't that something? I'd like to thank, too, Drs. Brenda Young, Sean Kelly, George Seifert, Laura Edsberg, and the members of last year's Faculty Senate for their warm welcome of me to campus. This means much to me, and it means much to work with such good colleagues, so I want to thank them. And I want to thank all the faculty, staff, and alumni who are here with us in the audience today. I know you have important things to do as well, so thank you for being here. I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you better in the years to come. I'd also like to acknowledge the members of the Inauguration Committee. They imagined and created this event and the other events around it that you'll see. Now, there are too many people there to thank. There's a cast of thousands, but I'd like for special recognition to mention Mike Andre, Sherry Gustus, Linda Kohler, Chris Malik, Rich Ann Mankey, and Kim Pagano and Margene Weiss. They really did a fabulous job, along with all of their colleagues, to make these events today happen. I'd like to recognize my brother Joe, sister Nancy, and her partner Mitch for being here, as well as the prominent Robert Graves scholar John Presley, all of whom have come from out of town to be here. So thank you also for being here. And finally, I'd like to thank Dr. Lynn Worsham. Dr. Worsham is a true scholar, somebody who's devoted herself to the life of the mind. She's an inspiration to me. In fact, all of my good ideas come from her. She's a true friend, my soulmate, the love of my life, and she just happens also to be my wife. So thank you for being here. Now, I'm sure I've forgotten plenty of people, and that's entirely my fault, so I apologize in advance. Anyway, thank you everybody for being here, and thank you for the opportunity to say a few words this afternoon. I really do promise to be brief. You know, it's common to ask college presidents, especially when they're new to campus, what's your vision for the future? Now, by that question, one usually means, where do you intend to take the college? In what ways will the college be different 5 years from now from how it is today? Will you embark on some new path or follow the one already before you? Institute radical change or maintain the status quo? Of course, any meaningful vision for the future of an institution will grow organically from its present and its past. Daemen has a long and distinguished history of academic excellence, rooted in a centuries-old tradition of Franciscan pedagogy and nurtured in the rich soil of personal attention to each and every student by a succession of talented faculties and staff over the years. From the days of intimate classes in Rosary Hall to today in our state-of-the-art computer classroom or information commons or our 3D computer classroom, our college has valued and championed a level of academic rigor and close attention to our students not found in many, if not most, colleges. It's precisely this extraordinary personal attention to students that really sets us apart. Our undergraduate students graduate with a level of preparedness and self-confidence that you might expect to find from graduate students. And our graduate students enter the profession better prepared than people that have already been in the field for years. This is why an independent research firm recently reported that 98% of students graduating from Daemen indicated that they were satisfied with the quality of their education. And these graduating students revealed to us that their primary reason for choosing to attend Daemen in the first place was the quality of the academic programs here. It is the exceptional quality and dedication of our faculty and staff that's fostered this unusual level of personal attention to our students. A full 76% of our faculty have earned the terminal degree in their disciplines, holding doctorates in many prestigious institutions, including Yale and Harvard, Columbia and University of Chicago. Many of them are leaders in their field and really are called upon around the country as leaders. Our alumni have gone on to distinguish themselves as well. They're surgeons and philanthropists, television personalities, and Grammy Award winners. Our trustees, too, are leaders in the community and in their fields. They're attorneys and judges, congressmen, and corporate executives. And I'm proud to say that despite this impressive academic quality, Daemen is no ivory tower. We have an unshakable commitment to the community. Our impact on the local and regional community economy is just shy of $114 million annually. And each year, as part of the curriculum, our students contribute 30,000 hours of service to the community, engaging in such projects as assisting the underprivileged prepare their tax returns, providing free health care to the poor, and helping disadvantaged adults learn how to read and write. Now, for all these reasons, it's common for those who are in the know to call Daemen an undiscovered gem, undiscovered by the general population. This, I believe, is all too true. And this is precisely the context from which a vision of the future derives. If by vision we mean the future you see for an institution, how you imagine in your mind's eye how it might evolve over time, then my vision entails expanding our collective sense of ourselves beyond the artificial boundaries of New York to a national and even international level. While it is appropriate to, let's say, compare ourselves, our performance, to nearby colleges, it's even more appropriate to compare ourselves to institutions nationwide. We already compete favorably on a national level. Our nursing, physician assistant, and physical therapy students have pass rates on their certifying exams that far exceed the national rates in those disciplines. Our innovative general education program is second to none, a progressive program found not in Harvard, not in Yale, not in Stanford, and not in Berkeley. Our groundbreaking visual effects program, with its partnerships with the film industry, is clearly a model for the nation, demonstrating how a small college like Daemen can be at the forefront of an effort to train a whole generation of professionals to create the films and television programs and video games and commercial advertisements of today and tomorrow. And our graduate program in Brooklyn, serving the Hasidic Jewish population, is also a model for the nation, a model of an innovative way to provide a college education to groups with specific cultural needs. Our master's program in cytotechnology, where students work side by side with leading pathologists and highly trained cytotechnologists at the nationally acclaimed Roswell Park Cancer Institute, is a one-of-a-kind program, and it's likely to be one followed in other places in the country. And the creative works of our faculty have been exhibited not only nationally in Arizona and Pennsylvania and New Jersey, but internationally in China and England and Germany. There are many other ways that we're distinguished nationally as well. For the past 6 consecutive years, we've been named to the U.S. President's Higher Education Community Service Honor Roll. We've been awarded the President's Points of Light National Service Award for our students' volunteer work. Our athletes have won 14 conference championships in the last decade. And for 4 consecutive years, Daemen has been designated a military-friendly school, meaning that we're in the top 15% of the nation's colleges and universities that do the most to welcome military veterans and enhance their experience as students. And just this summer, Daemen was named the College of Distinction 2013-14 by a national organization devoted to rating colleges and universities nationwide in order to help students, parents, and counselors make informed decisions about college. Now, these are only a few of the ways that Daemen College competes on a national level and has demonstrated quite clearly that its quality and reputation far exceed the boundaries of its geography. Let there be no doubt about it. We are already a college of national distinction. Now, looking forward, I envision a time when we compare ourselves not to Canisius or Medaille or Niagara or D'Youville, but to Oberlin and Amherst, Loyola and Wake Forest. I envision a time when we imagine ourselves as not in the shadow of some sprawling public university, but as a high-quality college in our own right, nimble, right-sized, and uniquely responsive to student needs. I envision a time when students from not just 23 states, but from all 50 study in our classrooms, experiment in our laboratories, and exhibit their art in our Performing Arts Center. I envision a time when our student body is composed of learners from not just 41 nations around the world, but from 50 or 60 or 75. I envision a time when our students have become not only doctors and surgeons and artists and professors, but senators and governors, astronauts and Supreme Court justices. I envision a time when our colleagues nationwide say, Daemen College, they have the premier physical therapy program in the nation. I envision a time when patients with intractable wounds travel to be treated in our chronic wound clinic, not only from Tonawanda and Niagara Falls and Rochester and Albany, but from Toronto and Dallas, Denver and Santa Barbara. I envision a time when guidance counselors across this nation say, you want to study visual effects? You need to attend Daemen. I envision a time when our faculty add to the many national honors and awards that they already have earned, Guggenheims and Pulitzers, Nobels and Fields Medals. I envision a time when our faculty are inducted into the world's most prestigious learned societies, the American Academy of Arts and Letters, the National Academy of Sciences, and the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. I envision a time when our faculty and alumni have artwork proudly exhibited, not just in the prestigious Albright Knox and the Birchfield Penny, but in the Museum of Modern Art and the Metropolitan Museum of Art. I envision a time when our athletes add to their impressive lists of championships, new NCAA championships, and in multiple sports. I envision a time when special education teachers trained at the Thomas Reynolds Center have become the intellectual leaders of the field, conducting the cutting-edge research and writing the textbooks that will be used to train whole new generations of special education teachers nationwide. In other words, I envision a time when the word Daemen is just as familiar to citizens across this great nation as Dartmouth and Duke, Fordham and Vanderbilt. Now, my friends, that time, the time I envision, is now. It has already begun. These things are already happening, and we don't have far to go. And this is not my private vision. This did not originate with me. This is our collective vision. This is the path that we have already embarked on. This is the path, whether they were conscious of it or not, that the brave nuns who founded this great college, through their endless toil and grit and dedication and sacrifice, began traveling down in 1947 in a solitary building called Rosary Hall. This is the path that those dedicated faculty and staff who followed in their footsteps continued on and enhanced over the decades, day by day, semester by semester, year by year, student by student, in our classrooms and our laboratories, our studios and our lecture halls. This is the path that tens of thousands of talented students have traversed over the years, from the courageous young women who defied the social expectations of their era by attending college in the first place, to our present-day students who are learning to create the animated films of tomorrow. This is the path that, generations, really, of trustees, through their support, their time, and their guidance, and even their own money, have empowered us all to traverse. This is the path both of our past and of our future. This is the path toward greatness for Daemen. And this is the path that you and I find ourselves on today, right now, in this room, at this moment. Let's continue down that path with renewed vigor, with renewed commitment and drive. Let's continue down that path together. And together, let's vow, despite whatever setbacks, despite whatever obstacles, despite whatever opposition, never, ever to turn back. Thank you.